similar to the way Tony Bennett did here in Charlottesville.
And in talking to Notre Dame associate head coach Kyle Getter the other day, he stressed the fact that they could have gone portal, but instead they want to build it the old-fashioned way in South Bend. Virginia with the basketball first, the Hoos in their home whites, and the Fighting Irish in their road blues with the gold lettering and trim. Andrew Rohde to Beekman, who brings it back out. There's the matchup we're going to watch. Number 2 in white against number 3 in blue. McNeely, a deadeye from 3. He's got his first of the night.
Isaac McNeely comes into the game second nationally in three-point field goal percentage and off to a great start here tonight.
Burton along with Logan Imes, J.R. Konieczny, who lit up UVA a month ago in the 20-point win up in South Bend. Tay Davis, Kevin Nye round out the starting 5. Yeah, Konieczny went for 17 points in the first half and really set the tone on a night where Virginia just got whipped. A rarity, losing by 22 points on December the 30th. And for this UVA starting 5, Jordan Minor has since moved into the starting lineup, and it feels like a little bit different Virginia team right now.
It absolutely is a different team because you have the level of physicality that Jordan Minor provides, and Virginia's a much better team on these defensive boards with Minor in the lineup as well.
Here's Beekman working on Burton. The double team gets the ball out of his hands. Swing it to McNeely. 5 to shoot. Beekman forces it up off the front rim, out of bounds. It's Notre Dame basketball. Well, when you have such a one-sided, surprising game like we did in South Bend, you know, that's the largest margin of defeat in an ACC game for Virginia since 2017. Can there be lingering effects for UVA tonight, Corey?
I don't believe that will be the case, especially in this building. I'm sure Virginia is locked in, and you're talking about the longest home winning streak in college basketball at 21 games. So this is a place where Virginia plays with a tremendous amount of confidence.
Burton with the great ball fake gets by the excellent defender in Beekman for his first 2.
But a smart play by Burton, understanding that Beekman is a very good shot blocking guard. Gets Beekman in the air and gets the easy layup on the flyby.
Corey, you mentioned off the top how Beekman is currently leading the ACC in both assists and steals. 2 years ago, he did that, plus he led an assist-to-turnover ratio, which is a rare triple, and he's got a shot at doing it again. This year, he's only trailing Duke's Jeremy Roach in assist-to-turnover ratio. There's a takeaway, what we have become accustomed to seeing from number 2 at UVA.
And right now, Dougie Fresh, you consider that Reece Beekman's probably his biggest competition to repeat as ACC Defensive Player of the Year is on his team.
Just set a screen for him. Well, you can't go wrong if you pick Ryan Dunn. You can't go wrong if you pick Reece Beekman. I think I would lean towards Dunn right now to be ACC Defensive Player of the Year. How about you?
Oh, at this point, I'm going to probably go back with Reece. And the reason I say that, and again, I can definitely be swayed toward Ryan, but the reason I go to Reece is because he normally does a better job, as you see, another Ryan Dunn block shot. And you talk about Reece's stats. Ryan Dunn happens to lead the ACC in blocks, by the way.
2.3 per game. He's also 5th in steals per game. The thing that might put it over the top for me is his versatility to be able to defend 1 through 4, even 1 through 5. And what he's been doing, especially lately on the glass.
Agree, but one thing I will say about Reece Beekman is the fact that he has more lockdowns. Guys coming in with big numbers that don't get those numbers against Reece Beekman because he is an elite on-ball defender.
So he's one of those guys you say has the nickname Off Night?
Oh, I call him Glove.
Glove. I like Off Night. I really think that's a neat way to point out the fact that whoever's matched up against you is going to have an off night.
But I tell you who did not have an off night against him the first time was actually Burton and this Notre Dame team. And you see Ryan Dunn showing off his league-leading 2.4 blocks per game, coming up with another one to start the game. Jordan Minor does a great job of keeping that inbounds and maintaining possession for Virginia.
Yeah, we see Minor there, 6'8", 242, the grad transfer after a marvelous 4-year career at Merrimack, where he was co-conference player of the year a season ago. We touched on it in the open, how it has just changed UVA at both ends of the floor. Another jump shot by McNeely.
And right now for Virginia, you've gotten exactly what you wanted from the start. You've got great defense happening, but you also got Ahmad getting going from the perimeter, and he is dangerous on this floor.
Yeah, that was a 2. He's got all 5 Virginia points. You see coming in 48% on threes. He's actually been better against ACC opponents, 51% on 3-point shots. Another rebound for Dunn off the miss by Logan Imes.
And Imes got a great look on that one. When you're playing against Virginia, you get a crack of the paint and get a layup. You've got to take advantage of that, especially in this building, because they don't give up many easy opportunities.
Rhodey thought about it. Tip up by Dunn, though, kept alive, and it comes to the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame 7-13 on the year. They have never won a basketball game here in the city of Charlottesville. Either at your old home, U-Haul.
Oh, I participated in one of those.
Or here at JPJ. What do you remember about your one game against the Fighting Irish back in the 90s?
Everything. 22 points. Big win over Elmer Bennett. And my God, the fines as Ryan Dunn comes up with his second block of the game. And he's off to a great defensive start. Maybe I could be swayed. Maybe Ryan Dunn is the ACC's Defensive Player of the Year.
When you're talking Virginia, and this year with Notre Dame, points come at a premium.
They absolutely do, and you consider the fact that Virginia has not allowed over 70 points in 51 straight games in JPJ. However, Notre Dame put up 76 on Virginia on the December 30th matchup, so I'm sure that's something Tony Bennett talked to his team a lot about in that first meeting, to make sure that they were aware that Notre Dame can score points, even though it's been a struggle for them at times.
Well, you wouldn't expect the Fighting Irish to make 11 threes again tonight, but like you say, they've shown they can do it against this Virginia defense.
And that's one guy that can do it on cue. The coach's son.
Braeden Shrewsberry.
Stepping up and knocking down a 3-ball, and Braeden not in the starting lineup in this game, but showing that he can absolutely get it done coming off the bench. Knocks down one out of the timeout.
Well, he put 25 on Georgia Tech earlier this month, and over the last 6 games, Braeden Shrewsberry's been averaging nearly 14 per contest. 4 to shoot. McNeely finds Rhodey. Long 3-ball. And off the bench, Blake Buchanan, the freshman, gets it back out to Beekman, who buries the 3.
Great to see Reece Beekman stepping up and shooting the 3-ball. That's his second 3-point field goal attempt of this game already, and I love to watch Reece Beekman when he's aggressive. Virginia now making that second 3, has just as many threes as they made in the first matchup.
His first of the night, shooting it just a shade under 30% on the year coming into the game. Matt Zona off the bench for Notre Dame. Imes takes a spill. 2 to shoot. Burton's got to do something with it, and unfortunately for Notre Dame, he passed it away. And that is a shot clock violation forced by Virginia. 6 college basketball games highlight our ESPN schedule Saturday, and 3 of them are Sonic blockbusters. Number 4 Houston and number 8 Kansas tip off at 4 Eastern. Then number 7 Duke takes on number 3 North Carolina, and 10th ranked Kentucky hosts number 5 Tennessee. 12.5 hours of college hoops that you can also watch on the ESPN app from anywhere.
Some big time matchups on Saturday. See a number of rivalries going on, and of course what will be a new rivalry in Houston and Kansas, probably the top 2 teams in the Big 12. As Jacob Groves, who knows a little about the Big 12, transferring over from Oklahoma, steps up and knocks on a 3rd 3 for Virginia on the evening.
And I guess hard work pays off. He was out this morning when nobody else was out here getting up extra shots, and Groves is a good shooter, knocks down his first attempt coming off the bench for Tony Bennett.
And you also understand that Groves has played a number of different roles for this Virginia team. He was the starting center, has started at the 4, and now coming off the bench, but still providing that shooting touch.
Again, Notre Dame up against it with the shot clock. No problem for Julian Roper II coming off the bench. The junior from Detroit has his first points.
And you have to give Notre Dame a lot of credit. And when you talk about having beaten a team before, you're going to have confidence coming in playing against that team. And Notre Dame has come into this building confident regardless of the success that Virginia's had here at home.
Beekman comes to the basketball, and we've got a whistle and a foul on that action.
Both teams off to a good start from beyond the arc. Virginia just a little better so far. Jacob Groves stepping up, knocking down a three. He told me that he was excited about this matchup. He's hearing all the conversation about R.J. Davis is the best guard in the country. And, you know, those two guys were McDonald's All-Americans in the same year. If Roach is healthy, he's going to have something to say about that.
All right. Now, as it relates to our matchup tonight between Notre Dame and Virginia, you saw from those standings the Hoos, with their 4-game winning streak, have moved into a third-place tie with Florida State, a Seminoles team that looks so much better than it did back in November and December. Does this Virginia team have the power to push Carolina and Duke over the course of the next 4 or 5 weeks?
I believe they absolutely do. One, considering the fact that I know North Carolina comes to JPJ, and Virginia in this building is as good as any team, and we've seen Texas A&M, you know, find out that as well. So this is a place that has been a, you know, place of horrors for really opposing teams, because Virginia does this. They shoot the basketball extremely well on this floor. Jacob Groves now knocking down his second three-point field goal.
The grad transfer out of Spokane, Washington makes it 14-8 Virginia. Virginia now 4 of 7 from distance scoring. Markus Burton buries the three, gets those points right back for the Fighting Irish.
And that is 3 of 3 from beyond the three-point arc for Notre Dame. So you talked about, and by the way, Doug Sherman said, I don't think that they'll make 11 threes in here today. I'm not certain of that. Notre Dame off to a hot start shooting the basketball.
And none of that from J.R. Knesny, who again was the one who set the tone a month ago up in South Bend.
Oh, he's not going to be the one getting those looks. I can guarantee you that.
No. McNeely, tough shot. Buchanan tracks down the long rebound despite Mazzona grabbing a handful of his jersey.
Second offensive rebound for Blake Buchanan, who's coming off the bench with a strong production early. So confident that he goes to the 1-foot Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway, showing off his shooting touch.
I'm guessing that the top 100 recruit growing up in Idaho watched a little Dirk Nowitzki. He knew that shot was coming.
Well, Blake Buchanan is extremely skilled. Again, as a first year, he's been battling with the roller coaster of trying to learn how to play the college game. But he is showing off his ability to get it done offensively, as is Jacob Groves, who steps back off of great action, knocking down the 3-ball, and then Blake Buchanan, 1-foot Dirk Nowitzki style. But a great start for Buchanan. 2 offensive rebounds and a bucket early as Tony Bennett gets Jordan Minor back on the floor.
And you know what, Corey? It's been 16 years since Tony Bennett was the head coach at Washington State. But each of those 2 players may have been recruited through residual relationships that he still maintains out in that part of the country. It's really something, as you know, better than I do. As Kerry Booth throws it down, the relationships within this sport, I'm never surprised by who knows who.
No, absolutely not. And you consider the fact that where coaches travel also, many people forget Tony Bennett was actually an assistant coach at Wisconsin and was a part of their Final Four team under Bo Ryan. So a number of great relationships along the country for Tony Bennett.
Into the ball game, Dante Harris. He brings energy off the bench for the Hoos.
He's such a welcome sign to have back for Virginia, and having him healthy, not only does he heat the basketball up defensively, but also another playmaker to have on the floor alongside Reece Beekman, so teams can't take Beekman out of games.
Yeah, whether it's 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes a game, I think it's huge for Beekman to have that man off the ball. And here he comes once again, trying to go 1-on-3. Harris going to bring it back out. Tane Murray still riding high off that terrific game last Wednesday against North Carolina State. Misfires. Notre Dame with the basketball down 5.
Keep an eye on Harris. He limped back a little bit on that possession. Maybe that burst put a little extra pressure on that ankle.
Roper working on Murray. Leans in, puts it up off the window and through.
Strong move by Roper once he gets into the painted area, and Virginia not going to help with Tane Murray on the block. So Roper just a little more physical, able to go through the contact for the bucket.
Well, after missing 4 their first shot, 5 shots from the floor, Notre Dame has made 5 of 6. Hanging with UVA. 8 minutes to go in the half. Groves, does he have a third? Yes, he does.
He brings a completely different dimension to Virginia's offense. Oftentimes, you see Virginia running what they like to call their sides offensively, but oftentimes that big man is a pick-and-roll guy. Jacob Groves is a pick-and-pop guy, and he's popped along 3 3-point field goals here already this evening.
Well, Tony Bennett, new Groves AAU coach, is back in Spokane. In fact, one was Tony's dentist. So again, these are the relationships that get you a guy who come off the bench and give you 9 quick points.
And this is the hard-hitting research that you get from Dougie Fresh. How do you know about people's dent? You know what? That may be a HEPA violation, by the way.
Harris, a little bit short. Got to ask the questions to get the answers.
This is true.
Go fishing and you never know what you're going to come up with. Off the turnover, Beekman ahead of the pack for the Emmys.
The ACC steals leader does it once again. Reece Beekman turning defense into offense and comes up with the easy bucket.
And the largest lead of the night for Virginia, on top by 8. Zona kicks to the corner. Shrewsberry thought about it. Now Imes for 3. Booth tracks down the offensive rebound. He's going to attack Groves into the lane. Tough shot. Beekman rejects the screen, gets to the bucket, and is tripped. The foul takes us to break.
Jacob Groves is not a pick-and-roll guy. He's a pick-and-pop guy. He pops back behind the three-point arc and knocks down his 3rd three of the evening. Reece Beekman doing what he does best, the finish. No look at the camera to say hi to Mom Julie watching at home.
Free. At the Waldorf Astoria in the Maldives. What about the canopy in Paris?
Hilton Honors, babe.
When you want points that can take you anywhere, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
We need complete and total air superiority.
Go, 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 go!
First time in the sawmill, boys. Let's rack them up and knock them down.
Masters of the Air is a story of courage, honor, and service. For generations, these values set the military community apart, and it's why USAA proudly serves them and their families. Check to see if you're eligible today and see Masters of the Air, now streaming on Apple TV+.
Looks like you won something there.
I ditched my tax guy and switched to H&R Block. Their experts can do your taxes online.
I've never won anything in my whole life.
You should make the switch.
Have an H&R Block Tax Pro do your taxes in person or online.
They're here. McDonald's best classic burgers ever. They're hotter. They're juicier. They're...
Robble. Oh, we got a first-year All-American team, Coach. I am going to get back to you on that one because it's going to take some thoughts from me. And I'm also playing fanboy as we see one of the greatest of all time, Nolan Ryan, celebrating his 77th birthday here, taking in a game at JPJ alongside John Grissom, his wife Renee, and being a part of this great atmosphere here at JPJ, where Virginia is enjoying a 21-game home winning streak, the longest in the country, Dougie Fresh.
I'm just thinking about 7 no-hitters. 7 no-hitters. Another turnover committed by Notre Dame. We'll have a top 15 Big 12 women's basketball matchup tomorrow night on ESPN and the app. Madison Booker and number 12 Texas take on number 13 Baylor. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, right after the Pro Bowl games skills showdown. Well, Notre Dame has as many made buckets as turnovers so far tonight, Corey. 7 apiece. Down by 10 with the basketball. Tay Davis denied. Groves doing it on both ends of the floor.
Oh, you got to shoot that. I mean, if you're as hot as Jacob Groves are, come on, man. I don't think Tony Bennett is going to mind you pulling up on the break when you're 4 for 4 from 3.
Not just a good closeout by Konechny?
No. Shoot over the closeout. You've earned the right.
Beekman. UVA by 13 points. led by its 4th year from Milwaukee. The Hoos are now 7 out of 12 from beyond the 3-point line tonight. And Steffi Graf taking on John McEnroe and Maria Sharapova. Talk about some star power.
That is absolute star power right there. My guy, of course, Coach Seth Greenberg, who you did a game here with not too long ago, as Virginia forces another turnover coming out of timeout. Markus Shrewsberry, who told us earlier today that he was going to be more positive with his team.
Well, let me give a little backstory on that. So he did tell us this morning that he empowered each of his players and coaches and people on staff, write down something and tell us what you can do better starting now for the rest of the season. And what he said, and you're putting it very PG, and I appreciate that.
Yes, I do that.
That he's going to stop being a jerk in certain circumstances.
Okay.
So anyhow.
And he told us that, of course, he referenced and he showed his team the movie Hancock, where Hancock was telling everyone, good job. He was almost as though it was embroidered into his brain as his son knocks down the 3 ball. Braeden hits the 3 in the corner to make it a 10-point game once again. But he says even after turnovers, he was going to look at his guys and tell them, good job, begrudgingly. However, after that last turnover, coming out of timeout, he did not tell anyone good job.
Yeah, that is gone away. And Groves just keep on keeping on. That is a new Virginia high for him. 15 points and counting.
And yet to touch the rim. All 5 3-point field goals have hit the bottom of the net.
He came into the game at 42%. That number is going way up. Konechny with his first 3 for the Irish.
And that was much more so of a rhythm shot for Konechny. Even though he shot it quickly, he was in rhythm on that one. That wasn't a forced shot at all. So Notre Dame battling back, continuing to shoot alongside Virginia.
Great look by Dunn. Missed layup to force Minor to clean it up. Virginia calls timeout after the tip-in by Jordan Minor. We'll be back in 30 seconds to JPJ.
This house is a Generac house, and you're just the person to keep it running. Because a proud homeowner has a protective instinct. And frankly, the brains to know the grid is gonna let you down sometimes. That's why when the rest of the block is lighting candles and looking for flashlights, you're ready to rock and roll. It's not just a generator, it's a power move. Request a free quote today.
Now Virginia is Jake Groves' 3rd stop. We mentioned what he did at Oklahoma, but don't forget he started at Eastern Washington. And you remember when he put 23 on Kansas in the 2021 NCAA tournament?
No.
He could, come on, Corey.
I don't remember that.
He can fill it up, and he's doing it tonight.
I can tell you what, I'll remember this performance. To be sure about that, 5 of 5 in the first half, shooting the 3 ball here in front of the home crowd. And this is one of the reasons why Virginia has been so tough to beat in this building. These guys feed off of this crowd. They've got great confidence shooting the basketball. And for this Virginia team, the way they defend, when they're making shots, they are hard to beat.
You don't remember Jake and his brother Tanner Groves teaming up against Kansas? They kind of became media darlings.
Would you like for me to spell it K-N-O-W or N-O? I mean, I don't know.
Well, you should spell it N-O because you K-N-O-W don't know.
Well, you clearly didn't understand it when I said no the first time.
I just can't believe it. You as a basketball savant, that was a big moment. Anyhow, my point was, in his 3rd stop, he is still able to shoot the basketball. It's another Notre Dame turnover, number 9 here in the first half. No thumbs up coming from that Notre Dame
bench. There will be no thumbs up. There will actually be 3 new players coming onto the floor. And Markus Shrewsberry is going to probably use a foul to give on this possession to try to stop Virginia from getting anything good. There it is.
That's only their 2nd, so why not do it again?
Well, here's the problem with doing it again. You don't want to put guys in foul trouble that you're going to need, hopefully, if this game becomes close down the stretch. So you don't want to keep racking up fouls on important guys. This is a scenario where you put other guys in the game if you're going to do that.
McNeely. What a sideline out of bounds. equal action. Beekman finds McNeely, and what a way to close out the half.
Virginia, everything he could to try to get his team a win in the first half. He did that. By the way, he got the ball to Jacob Groves, which always is a good route.
Shrewsberry gets the start in the second half. Misfires. McNeely with the rebound. UVA will walk it up with Beekman. This a Virginia team that has brought the defense as expected, forcing 9 turnovers in that first half and turning them into 10 points to help build this lead. McNeely tries to bounce it to Dunn. Beekman comes to the ball, gives to Dunn. Shot clock down to 5. Beekman's pass deflected away. Imes with it. Burton got a hand on that pass, and Notre Dame comes up with the steal. Shrewsberry comes to the ball, takes a nice pass from Burton and puts it in.
That was a great job by Shrewsberry, making himself available as Davis has to put his shoe back on. Not sure what happened on that possession to lose his shoe, but Davis actually trying to get back down the floor on defense with just one shoe on. Give Pat Driscoll a lot of credit recognizing that, giving the young man time to get his feet back together.
Young man out of Warren Central High School in Indianapolis, started his college career at Seton Hall a year ago, playing with his brother before transferring back to the Midwest at Notre Dame. Here's Rhodey, scoreless in that first half, to Beekman, who had 9 points. Good ball movement, back out to Rhodey. Beekman's pass again deflected by Burton.
That's the second turnover for Reece Beekman here to start this second half. Give Burton a lot of credit for getting a hand on the basketball and then getting downhill as another shoe falls off. Now Matt Zona trying to get his shoes together. And I'm not even going to say what you think I'm going to say.
Well, you know what I'm thinking. And I know what you're thinking. Some things are better left unsaid, Corey.
Absolutely.
Virginia looking for its 5th straight win. Take the floor tonight. Tied for 3rd in the ACC behind North Carolina and Duke, along with Florida State. 12 points now for the 4th year, Reece Beekman.
And we talked about the 2 turnovers for Reece Beekman, and oftentimes he turns the basketball over because he's not aggressively looking to score the basketball. And he doesn't turn it over a lot. But the times where he does is oftentimes where he could actually be taking a shot.
By the way, he had 2 steals in that first half. He is now 13 from passing Othell Wilson for the all-time career steals record here at UVA.
And you understand why it's so important for that to happen this season.
4 years.
Exactly. Reece Beekman in his 4th year has an opportunity to play 5 for Virginia, but when you break records, it's always better to do it.
A 3rd steal by Burton. If he can secure it, he does. And maybe he heard us saying that the veteran had gotten the better of him in the first half, because he's come out swinging.
He absolutely has, and he's gotten those 3 steals against Reece Beekman. That's the 3rd turnover for Beekman in this second half, which is very uncharacteristic for him.
And so the young man, who is 4th in the country among freshmen in scoring, at the line, 81%. And into the band and student section, he misses the first.
Get a look at that matchup that we highlighted. I believe there was something on the line there. I'm not sure what it was.
Bacon.
Oh, Bacon. That's, of course, Smithfield. I should have known that, Dougie Fresh.
But I tried in the first half to tell you something I thought you would know, and you said you didn't know, so I wasn't going to put you on the spot again, Corey.
Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't ever do that.
Well, you know that's not going to be the case. By the way, UVA has as many turnovers to start the second half as it had the entire first half Braeden Shrewsberry taking advantage of the start in the second half, and it's back to a 10-point game.
And whatever the halftime conversation was from Markus Shrewsberry to his team, they've been a different group here to start this second half, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
And you know, last Saturday at Louisville, Notre Dame, after dominating the first half against the Cardinals, didn't come out to start the second half in the best way. A little slow to start here tonight. Beekman, check that, Virginia, excuse me, on Saturday. Big bucket there to stem the tide, the lead back to a dozen.
Yeah, Virginia had a huge lead at halftime in that game at Louisville. And it's oftentimes, it's hard to come out with that same level of intensity as Matt Zona steps up and knocks down a three. And that is going to be the weapon of choice for the Irish. They made it a 9-point game. They've used the three-point line very well here to start this second half. And I can just go back to the first half. One thing I do know and remember is you saying they wouldn't hit 11 threes here in Charlottesville. And there's a strong possibility that they may.
We still got a lot of time left, Corey. We'll see. They don't get a three there. Here comes Notre Dame. Hines with the basketball for the Fighting Irish. Trying to work on Rhodey, who cut him off. And now he glances over to Markus Shrewsberry, the first-year head coach, to set up the offense. Burton. Minor got a piece. Rhodey watched by Burton. Minor. 2 to shoot. Goes to the other side and lays it in.
Great job by Jordan Minor recognizing where he was on the floor under the basket, able to finish on the opposite side and stop the momentum of the Irish.
Young man from Kingston, Massachusetts makes it an 11-point Virginia lead. To shoot. Davis in trouble, and he throws it away.
Great defense by Ryan Dunn. I was talking about Reece Beekman being a lockdown perimeter defender. Ryan Dunn.
ESPN, the second game of our NBA doubleheader. Damian Lillard returns to Portland for the first time as the Bucks take on the Trailblazers. And I'm hoping, Corey, that at least before the game, it's all positive from the fans in Portland.
It absolutely has to be. When you consider what he's done in the city of Portland, the 6th overall pick, Rookie of the Year, 7-time All-Star, and 7-time All-NBA performer. NBA top 75 all-time, did all of that in a Portland uniform. I'm sure there will be a great response for him on his first time back.
Will the coaching change in Milwaukee with Doc Rivers pay the dividends they're hoping it will this year?
Not without something done at the trade deadline. I don't think it's really a coaching concern, in my opinion. I love Doc Rivers. I think it has more to do with personnel for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, they've got another week to make those trades. Notre Dame with the basketball. They've been playing well here in the second half, down 11. Shrewsberry checked out where the defender was and fired it away. He's got 14 points.
I'm going to go as far as to say that Shrewsberry may be an elite shooter, especially will be by the time he's finished in South Bend.
Well, if you look a little deeper, he's only 33% on the year, Corey, but the last 6 games coming into this one, 45%.
But 33 as a freshman is completely different than being a 33% shooter. Freshmen don't shoot the basketball well normally coming into college basketball.
Well, the more attention Groves gets, the easier it's going to be for McNeely.
Absolutely, and you see Isaac McNeely, who has been a little lost in the shuffle based upon the shooting performance of Groves, but that's the 3rd three-point field goal for McNeely as well, shooting the basketball extremely well here tonight.
The Wahoos are now 11 of 18 from 3. Shrewsberry, does he have the answer? Nye pulls it out. Here's Konieczny back to Burton, puts it on the deck, driving on Harris. Blocked the shot. Out of bounds. Notre Dame will keep it.
That's a big block by Dante Harris. You're talking about 2 diminutive guards going at it. But Harris showing off his bounce.
Well, this is 5th game back off of an ankle injury that cost him 10 games, and what a big piece he has been for Tony Bennett. shot clock. And an offensive foul against Notre Dame, an illegal screen on Keba Jai.
And now the 11th turnover for Notre Dame in this game. That has truly been a struggle for them throughout this game. Virginia scoring 10 points off those first 10 turnovers, seeing if they can cash in on this one as well.
Tane Murray off the bench for Virginia, as is the freshman big Blake Buchanan. Here's Harris. The Georgetown transfer can't get that one to go. Jai gets rid of it, goes to set the screen. Konieczny driving baseline on Murray. Still with the bounce, rises up and doesn't get the roll. Buchanan kept it alive, but Konieczny has it for Notre Dame. Back to Braeden Shrewsberry. Missed the lefty. Saved by McNeely. Virginia basketball up 11. Harris, what a crossover. Buchanan, though, can't finish off on the pick and pop.
And just on that possession alone, Blake Buchanan would have been much better served just to shoot his regular shot. Oftentimes, guys get caught up in shooting push shots and flows. Oh!
Murray, the rejection.
I'm not sure I've seen that from Tane Murray yet. Ryan Dunn has become infectious. We saw Dante Harris with a big block. Now Tane Murray coming up with one.
McNeely. Buchanan. And his pass knocked away by Roper. It's another Notre Dame takeaway. Fighting Irish have missed their last 5 at this end. Himes trying to work on Groves. Give it to Shrewsberry. Himes for 3. Big shot for Notre Dame.
How about these freshmen from the Irish? We talked in our open about the fact that Markus Shrewsberry is playing a lot of freshmen. They did not go the transfer portal route and try to bring in an older team. They're going to go the traditional route and playing a lot of freshmen, and these guys are growing up right in front of our eyes.
Both these teams making the three-point shot look very easy tonight. The Irish now 9 of 16. Harris to the left hand, gets the roll. Timeout, Virginia. Doug Sherman back at the University of Virginia. And there are things in college basketball you're not supposed to do, Corey. Here's one of them.
Yeah, and Markus Burton was able to get away with one. Even though he's a freshman, he's crafty. You see the left arm go around and grab Dante Harris, pulling him into him to get the foul on that possession. And Burton being very crafty as a young player. However, it did not go unnoticed by the intelligent crowd here at JPJ. They made sure to allow the officials to hear their displeasure.
Here in Whoville, says the former Cavalier, pride of Waynesboro, Virginia.
Hey, throw up the, and again, you know, when you talk Waynesboro, that's part of the reason why I'm so partial to officials. I had to go after my high school games on Friday nights. I had to go referee games Saturday mornings at the Waynesboro YMCA. My God, John Spears used to make sure I got up in the morning to come do that. That's the way we earned our memberships to the Y. And that's one of the reasons why I've always been so partial to officials.
Konieczny unable to beat the buzzer. The next 2 games for the Irish are on ACC Network. They'll play Pittsburgh Saturday at 6 Eastern. Then next Wednesday, they're at Cameron Indoor taking on number 7 Duke in the second game of a doubleheader at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
I will be at that second game myself. My God, WD, aka West Durham, and also the Hall of Famer Jim Boeheim will be in the Crow's Nest at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Maybe might as well be on the roof calling that game.
Here's Groves with his first 3-point attempt of the second half after making 5 out of 6 in the first. Minor couldn't find a teammate, so he tried to score, couldn't do it. Notre Dame the last to touch. It was apparently off the hand of Knesny, so Virginia will keep with 20 on the shot clock.
But Jordan Minor's been a difference maker for Virginia. Just the physicality that he brings to the lineup. Tony Bennett told us oftentimes we don't even have to trap on the post when we've got Minor down there guarding because of his strength and his experience.
Murray, no. There's Minor on the offensive glass. Harris, quick pass. Murray works the baseline. Goes to the left hand to lay it in. The third year from Auckland, New Zealand, gives Virginia a 12-point lead once again.
And he's been another guy that's really started to give Virginia great production off the bench. Tony Bennett told us earlier today they've had a number of guys stepping up at different times, and each one of them will have somewhat of their own game that they help the team win.
Markus Burton answers with a mid-range shot, give him 10 points. Murray rises up. 4 quick points.
But you can see just how much more confident Tame Murray is in the Virginia rotation right now, and knowing that you're going to get consistent minutes and what's expected of you often helps with your production.
Zona. Against the trap. Gave it up. 13th Notre Dame turnover. Harris given space by Burton. Instead, he passes to Beekman. Groves. Got it. A new career high for made threes in a game for Jake Groves.
Virginia getting bench points, a lot of production from a number of guys. Tame Murray getting involved in the action, back-to-back buckets. However, it's been the Jake Groves show here in Charlottesville, his 6th made three-pointer.
Good bloodlines for both of our leading scorers tonight. We talk a lot about the fact that Braeden Shrewsberry, of course, is the son of head coach Markus Shrewsberry, who was a really good Division III point guard at Hanover College back in the 90s. But Jake Groves' mom, Tara, was an NAIA All-American at Whitworth University. His mom scored over 2,000 career points.
So mom was a bucket, so she's really not impressed at all about what he's doing right now, because she can simply say, I've done all that before.
You're probably right. Dad Randy also played college ball, but terrific bloodlines on both sides. Ball coming our way. UVA on a little bit of a run, 9-2 over the last 3+ minutes to get the lead back to 15. Been a clean game throughout. We've barely had any free throws. You see only 2 fouls committed in the second half by Virginia, 1 for Notre Dame. We've only had 4 foul shots taken tonight.
Well, neither of these teams fouled much. That's part of why they're so impressive defensively, is because they don't put the other opponents on the line. And a great play by Burton once again right there, just being able to win the one-on-one matchup against the ACC's best on-ball defender.
One more 3 and Virginia will have its season high.
Had I said that, Tame Murray would have made that shot, by the way.
I doubt that. You jinx more things than anybody.
Oh, no, not me, my friend. Had I called that number out, matter of fact, I'm going to say it now. 1 more 3, and Virginia surpasses their season high. 13 will be their season high.
Do I need to remind you the last time we did a game, a guy suffered an ankle injury moments after you were talking about how healthy he was and how durable he was. Moments later.
No, you don't need to remind me of that. I don't remember that, any such thing. Watch Virginia makes the next 3, though.
They go inside to Groves. That time the Nowitzki didn't work out so well. Out of bounds.
Pat Driscoll coming in to correct that. The officials doing a great job getting together. Virginia will maintain the basketball on this possession.
Some 9,000 officials in the stands as well.
But here's my question. Now, did that shot, or was that a different possession? Because did that shot hit the rim?
It was an air ball, I thought.
So maybe they're assuming that. Oh, there you go.
Groves beat the buzzer but didn't hit the iron, so there's your shot clock violation. 6:21 remaining. 8th turnover forced by that man's defense. You know, these two teams have given up the fewest points per game of any in the ACC, but To me, that doesn't necessarily mean they're the two best defensive teams, right, Corey?
Well, their offense dictates a lot of their scoring pace. So their teams, when you play against Notre Dame and when you play against Virginia, you're going to score less points because you don't have as many possessions. I don't think that either of these teams are the top of the ACC, although Virginia is going to be close to the top each and every year.
Booth was fouled on the shot. He'll head to the line for a chance for a three-point play. So what, would you put Carolina in there? Would you put Florida State in there? Where would you go to say the top two defensive teams in the ACC right now?
I would say in January it would be North Carolina. I believe they have been the best defensive team in January. Now, when you lead up to January, I'm not sure they would have that distinction. But I can tell you right now, after the performance defensively I saw the Duke Blue Devils put on in Blacksburg on Monday night against Virginia Tech, they could very well be one of those teams also. And then you got to throw Clemson into the mix. Brad Brownell's group is always going to be able to defend, and they've got some big-time pieces doing it now.
McNeely working on Imes. Groves to the corner. Tane Murray puts it on the deck. Fighting Irish with it, down by 11, 5:20 to go.
And give the Irish a lot of credit. They have not gone away in this game. They continue to put pressure on Virginia. Turnovers have hurt them. However, when they've gotten looks at the basket, they've taken advantage of them.
Burton trying to work on Beekman. Shrewsberry around and out. Groves goes for the one-handed rebound. And a whistle against Booth.
I tell you what, though, we had a good look on that one. The angle where we're sitting, Shrewsberry's three looked really good, and he was confident. He was on his way back down the floor because he felt like that one was going down.
And the way the game has gone tonight for that young man and for really his teammates and the opponents, you got to think most everything's going in. They have been shooting the lights out here tonight. Groves gets a nice round of applause as he takes a seat. Jordan Minor back in. It's been a quiet night offensively for Ryan Dunn. He's been scoring the basketball so well the last couple of games. He's only attempted one shot, still scoreless for UVA.
And that one shot was an attempted tip in, so really shouldn't have been a shot that was going after a rebound. When you think about Ryan Dunn, has been shooting 75% over his last 4 games.
Yeah, 21 for 28 the last 4 games coming in. Davis's pass taken away, another steal by Beekman. And Burton commits the foul.
But if you watch Virginia basketball often, as which you and I both do, you understand that at every moment when things are kind of in a crux, it's Reece Beekman coming up with a steal, a defensive play to help his team to build the momentum back, especially here on this home floor. And he does it once again as you see a little momentum favoring the side of the Fighting Irish. Reece Beekman comes up with the steal and knocks down the first free throw.
Tate Davis will take a seat in between free throws for Reece Beekman. He gets a pair, now 16 points, 3 steals as well. So he turned another Notre Dame turnover into 2 more points. The lead is back to 13. Here's steal number 4. And Beekman's going to pull it out. We're under 4 minutes now.
You remember when we were talking about that Defensive Player of the Year conversation?
McNeely, no. How about co-defensive players of the year? Do you like that?
I actually do like that. I think it's possible. But when you think about the fact that Virginia has 2 guys who should absolutely be first-team all-defensive team, but this is still not one of the best Virginia defenses that we've seen, there are areas where they can absolutely continue to grow on that end of the floor.
Burton this time gets around Beekman, switches hands and banks it in.
Yeah, crafty play by Burton to be able to use on the inside hand to avoid the shot blocking ability of Reece Beekman.
So if not Beekman or Dunn as conference defensive player of the year, who would you go with?
You got to look at Clemson. I would think P.J. Hall could absolutely be in the mix.
Beekman doing it on both ends tonight. 19 points and counting.
But Doug, this is the guy that he's got to be for Virginia to be successful. And not as much here in this building, but when they go on the road, they're going to have this type of performance from Reece Beekman, not to where he's only doing the job defensively, but also being aggressive on the offensive end.
He is now 18 points shy of 1,000 for his terrific Virginia career. Ball knocked away from behind. Dunn poked it away. It'll be Notre Dame basketball when we come back.
We talked about the matchup between these 2 point guards, and it's been a very good one thus far. Burton attacking the basket, able to finish with the left, but Reece Beekman in the corner. Three pocket is good.
Fun point guard matchup to watch here tonight. The freshman Burton, the fourth-year Beekman, both have played extremely well.
They absolutely have played extremely well. Burton, who is used to doing a lot, high usage rate for him as a freshman at Notre Dame. And in my opinion, and only my opinion, Reece Beekman can do more of this on a regular basis. He's great at everything that he does, but I can see more. I know Reece very well, spent time with him in the summers working with. I know what he's capable of, and I think he can have more games like this where he still gets his 6 assists, but he has 20 points to go along with it.
Errant pass. Konechny has to throw it up, and that's another shot clock violation forced.
That's 3 in this game.
3 and 16 on the season.
And it's hard to be able to beat Virginia when you've got 16 turnovers. So you look at what Notre Dame has done. I mean, they shot the basketball extremely well, but the turnovers have hampered them the entire game.
And again, Virginia is just a better team than it was a month ago when it got whipped up in South Bend with the additions into the rotation of Minor. And we've seen Tane Murray again tonight, and again Dante Harris.
But look at the last possession. That's not a late shot clock play. Reece Beekman is now being extremely aggressive on the offensive end of the floor and taking the first good shot that he can get. And that's the Reece Beekman that can help Virginia get to that next level moving forward.
His career high is 23 against Northeastern. He's at 21 now. Again, with the shot clock being part of the equation, we've got a whistle and a foul.
You look at this action. Look at the shot clock, Dougie Fresh. There's 20 seconds on the shot clock when Reece Beekman catches this basketball. He gets in his bag right to the mid-range and pull up, shoots it confidently. That's not waiting for a great shot to appear. That's your best player taking a good shot early enough to give yourself a chance to be successful.
And not that that shot illustrates it. Keep in mind, he has shown as Shrewsberry scores, he's got the clutch gene as well.
Oh, yeah, he's got multiple game winners throughout his career. One as a freshman in the ACC tournament. Another in Cameron Indoor.
Dunn has it knocked away. Fighting Irish still fighting out of bounds. And Virginia will keep 17 to shoot. Well, each of the Notre Dame coaches we spoke to today, Markus Shrewsberry, the head coach, the associate head coach, Kyle Getter, Ryan Owens, Mike Farrelly, they went on and on about how much they like the team and that they're still fighting, they're still together despite the record.
And absolutely, you have to. You look at the roster, you see how many freshmen Markus Shrewsberry is playing. That is a conscious decision to be able to say, hey, guys, we're going to do this with young players. We're not going to go into the portal and try to get guys who we may have for 1 or 2 years. We're going to try to do this with guys that we can have for 4 years that help us build the foundation of our program.
Beekman dumps it off. Minor was fouled. And you know, I haven't said this year, so I'm going to say it now, Corey. If free throws, even one free throw is made here, he should get an assist on this.
Yeah, I know you have said that already this year.
Not this year, not this year.
Yes, you have. I remember that conversation. You have said this year. Because I simply said I would have had a whole lot more assists in my career if that were the case.
No matter what comes out of my mouth, it somehow turns to you.
There you go. Aren't you talking to me and about me?
No. To you, but not about you. I want Beekman to have just gotten another assist because Minor made a free throw based on the beautiful pass made by Beekman.
And I disagree wholeheartedly because, again, now if you make both free throws, maybe, but not making one free throw. No, not making one free throw.
So if you make a pass and somebody makes a 3 instead of a 2, should you get an assist and a half?
No, but you actually get an assist for when you pass the ball and they get a 2, not a 1.
But why do you differentiate? A score is a score. A point scored is a point scored for your team.
Because 1 is only half of a bucket.
But 3 is more than 2, and you give the same assist.
Another turnover. A great job by Imes getting back defensively. A little too much too late.
Well, Burton was fouled by Dunn, and that was not what Virginia was looking for. Burton will shoot 3 free throws.
The effort has been there for Notre Dame throughout this game. It hasn't been about effort. It hasn't been about their energy. Tony Bennett not happy with that foul. But it's simply been about the turnovers. And that's another thing that Virginia specializes in this building. Notre Dame now up to 18 turnovers. And it's extremely difficult for you to win a basketball game, especially on the road, when you turn it over 18 times in someone else's building.
Yeah, the season high for Coach Shrewsberry's team is 19. Burton calmly hits a pair. Now he's at his season average, 16 points for the 5'11", 166-pound freshman from Mishawaka, just outside of South Bend, Indiana.
I love Markus Burton. 5'11" is very generous, however. That is program height.
I got no hate for it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because you all listed the program height also.
Of course.
You say you're 6 feet, right?
Depends.
Not even close. Strong performance by the Hoos in front of the Virginia faithful, pushing the nation's longest home winning streak up to 22 games. And Reece, don't take that shot. And see, that's the thing. Again, I want him to shoot more, but don't take that one. That's a percentage killer right there.
He didn't want another turnover.
He wouldn't have gotten